Welcome to our first annual ONU virtual kickoff. Really excited for this. We've been a lot of planning and preparation, so we're really fired up to kind of tell you about the team and go through this schedule. If you're interested in entering the door prize, put your name in the chat feature along with your city and state. We will, have two different door prizes today throughout this half an hour show. First thing we're going to do is give you a little behind the scenes with our scrimmage from Saturday, kind of a preseason hype video of the last week or so, including highlights of this scrimmage we had with Trine on Saturday. There you go. Faithful and true, we'll fight to gain the right for Just really appreciate these guys coming in to spend some time with us right off the practice field, hustling in, changing, and coming in to talk with us today. So, Javon, we'll start with you. Our theme that you guys kind of selected this year was be the brand. Why don't you just talk a little bit about what that kind of means for you?
Be the brand to me is pretty much just getting back to playing hard Northern football. At times I feel like it's pretty easy to kind of get caught up in expectations and outside noise, but I feel like if we prepare and play the way we know we can, I feel like we can compete with any team. So
good. Austin, how about you? What does that be the brand when you think about some of the things we've tried to emphasize throughout the offseason?
I think for me, be the brand is about being like one team, one brand. It's not just an offense and a defense. And then for me, really, is being just a team that can compete at the best level all the time.
So we know that, throughout, lessons we learned from last year, we know we can compete with any team in the league. We know that. There was some inconsistencies. And as we talked about what we wanted to focus on when it comes to be the brand, what have you seen so far, Javon, maybe through the preseason? I think we're on practice about number 10 coming up here. Through those first few weeks, what have you seen that kind of makes you feel good about that brand?
What sticks out to me is probably the focus of the team. All through camp, guys have been laser focused. I feel like as seniors, that's something that we really try to hone in on this year. And, if you're out there with us, you can see it. Guys flying around, making plays, playing fast. So, yeah, you definitely feel that energy for sure.
Good. How about you, Austin?
I think for me, you can see a team coming together. Usually you have offense and defense playing against each other out there. But I think now, as much as a defensive player makes a play and I don't like it on the offensive side of the ball, it's still nice to see that because that's going to be happening on a game field and you're going to be cheering on that guy just as much as you're cheering on yourself and your offensive side. And as well, I'm with Javon. Our focus has kind of been at a different level this year to where it's kind of been where when we play our best games last year, the focus was there. And when we were playing our worst, the focus wasn't. I think our focus is there all the time.
One thing we talked about, the standard, we have this theme, be the brand, but then we talked about a standard being no ego. Like when you kind of ask you this one first, Austin, when you think about not having an ego, what does that kind of mean to you?
I think to me, it's just about being a team player. So just being out there, not for yourself, but for everybody else. I would love to go and break 1 million records every year, but I would also love to go and see my team go 10-0 and then be in the playoffs and then maybe go another 4-0 and be in the national championship. That'd be the best thing for me because it's not about just you out there. It's 22 guys playing offense and defense, and then you got your extra guys playing special teams, and everybody on that team matters, not just one guy.
How about you?
Yeah, for me, I feel like being a fifth year, that saying, hits home a little more. No ego. So, younger guys could check me. I shouldn't feel any type of way about that. So,
I love that. It's two-way, right? Not having an ego isn't just the young players coming in; it's also all of us. So,
exactly.
Appreciate it, guys. Thanks a lot for joining us.
Absolutely.
Thank you. All right, we're going to talk a little bit about our freshmen. The coaches worked really hard. Really proud of our coaches. They put the time in the offseason, trying to find the guys that really fit Ohio Northern. I feel like we really had an outstanding class. Most common major was engineering and business, and the average GPA is about a 3.51. So we found some really sharp young men that are driven, that I think fit the University very well. The retention in the first 2 weeks has been strong. We haven't lost many players, so we're really excited about those guys. And sometimes you don't know where recruiting is until they actually get here. You watch the video and they commit and make decisions, and you feel good about a class, but you never really know until they're actually here on campus. You start seeing them run around. So I think we did a good job of finding the right people. Okay, our first giveaway right here. Wilson football. As I'm sure all of you hopefully know, that Wilson football is made right here in Ada, Ohio. Every Wilson football you'll see at a high school football game or a youth football game or maybe even the NFL, college, all levels, every one of those footballs is made right here in Ada, handmade by many times people that have worked in this village for 30 or 40 years. So it's got a lot of significance to us as a university, and we have a really strong relationship with them. Jaime de la Cruz, you are the winner of this beautiful Wilson football. Again, Jaime de la Cruz, if you can go ahead and email alumni@onu.edu with your full name and address, we'll get this football to you. We're going to introduce our offensive and defensive coordinators within the coaching staff. We have a mix of one guy who's been with us a long time and then another coach who's new. So if Jim Coral and Coach Glenn Schweitzer can join me right here. So, Jim joined us in March, I believe, as our offensive coordinator, offensive line coach. Has a great background, played at Ohio State and with New York Giants for 5 years, and then coaching at Ohio State and Urbana as an offensive coordinator before going to Long Island University in New York. And then, he wanted to get back close to home, and that was good for us. And then Glenn Schweitzer, who's going into year number 18, I believe, right here. Awesome. Glenn's done a great job, many different roles here at ONU. So, Glenn started off as a defensive line coach, special teams coordinator, ran our weight room. He evolved into the run game coordinator, then defensive coordinator, has done a great job with that. So, Coach Cordell, why don't you just tell kind of the people out there maybe what to expect a little bit, maybe just kind of an outlook offensively, if you could.
Yeah, well, first of all, I'm very grateful for the opportunity to be here, join this great program. We have great players, so we're going to try to put our players in position to make plays. It's a little bit different approach than last year, and the guys have bought in, and we'll be balanced. But we're going to get we have plenty of playmakers, which is nice. And we'll get them the ball, but we'll try to have some balance, manage the game and score some points.
Absolutely, Coach Schweitzer likes to hear that, scoring points. It's been good seeing some of some of the evolution, some of the things that have been going on during the spring and the summer. So, Glenn, why don't you talk a little bit about the defensive outlook?
Yeah, I mean, I think the defensive outlook this time of year is all about optimism. I think every program in the country right now is fueled by optimism. But we look for some of the evidence of why we should be optimistic. We have about 8 or 9, I think, 7 or 8 returning starters or guys that have played meaningful snaps. We have another handful of guys that have kind of filled in some backup roles, and we've recruited well. And I think we have some guys that are going to get some Letterman type reps, as first years that I think can fill some holes and moving forward with that talent and doing the things that we need to do. I think optimism is plenty for us. I think the talent's there. Now we just got to make sure the ball bounces our way, and we work hard enough to kind of earn the football luck, so to speak.
Why don't you talk about a little bit just the battle in the preseason? It's offense versus defense. We have a scrimmage. It was kind of, we mentioned earlier, was on Saturday. The back and forth on offense and defense. Why don't you just talk a little bit about that, Jim? What's kind of fun about it?
Yeah, it's fun. I mean, there's a really good D line over there, and our guys are battling up front with going against those guys, and then some multiple looks. And but we have a good senior class, older group of guys that are really taking on learning the game and understanding what's going on. And so we try to find any holes and get the ball there, but that's hard to find against a good multiple defense with some explosive athletes up front.
Yeah, I think, the old football cliche, iron sharpens iron. You look at the offense and what we're going up against practice. They got speed for days at receiver, which is always good. I mean, today's practice, I asked us to move the ball back. So we want verticals. So we get a chance to see that speed and what our techniques are. And up front, there's a developed offensive line there. And you got, the tailback is a previous All-American as a returner and has done great things and is in probably the best shape of his life. So it's a challenge every day. Every day we watch video. They force us to make mistakes. We correct our mistakes, and we feel real fortunate to be battle tested like that every day, in and out. So.
Okay. Well, talk a little about the assistant coaches. Maybe I'll just hit a couple of highlights, and we have a little bit of time to feature them. I think we've built a really good staff of guys that have a good experience and have some passion for their positions they coach. But offensively, the other full coaches, we have Andre Griffin, who's our wide receivers coach and recruiting coordinator. We have Jim Cordell working with you. That's you, right? Nice one right there. We have Aaron Krebs working with Coach Curdle as the pass game coordinator. But why don't you talk about the rest of the offensive staff, and then we'll get to defense.
Yeah, so Coach Krebs is a really good quarterback developer, which is nice this year. We have some young guys that he's developing, and he's a guy he's asking for more quarterback indie time, so he's got a really good plan for those guys and good understanding of the pass game and offense. We work together well, and then obviously Coach Krebs has been around a long time and knows football inside and out, and is really motivating and managing a really good staff and receiving core. And then Jason Kalman came with me from Long Island and is our running back tight end coach. So thrilled to have him as well.
Real versatile, handling kind of two positions at sometimes in meetings, and a lot of experience. Why don't you talk a little about the defensive staff?
Yeah, I think defensive staff wise, just great synergy. Coach Paul is the linebacker coach. Coach Cody Cruzen is our secondary coach, co-defensive coordinator. So he helps me out a lot with that back end of it. Take some things off my plate, allows me to focus on some things that maybe have gone, needed focus. So we feel good about that. And again, just the open-mindedness, the synergy, our ability to attack what offenses are going to give us. It makes for a real good competitive, but cordial room. So we feel good about it.
Couple young coaches that are rising stars, Coach Hines and
out
Coach
of this
Briggs.
world. Yeah, Coach Briggs, out of this world. Coach Hines, student coach Chandler Owens. I'm going to be working for Chandler in about 5 years, so it's really an awesome situation.
His name's Owen Chandler, by the way.
Chandler Owens.
I goofed up a name.
He's fired me already. He's fired me already.
No, I'm really pleased with the group that we have together. So, all right, guys, thanks.
Thanks.
We have a guest joining us today, Jason Trusnick. There he is, wearing some polar bear gear. That's great to see. Jason is a 2007 ONU alum. He's an ONU Hall of Fame member, arguably one of the most accomplished athletes of any sport at ONU. 10 years playing professional football for the Jets, the Browns, the Dolphins, the Panthers, Vikings, and Saints. He's currently a business owner of Pro Sports Performance in the Nashville, suburban Cleveland area. And, Jason, I really appreciate you taking time. I know you're coaching Austin, your son's youth football team right now, so it's hard to kind of squeeze some things in. But luckily, you had practice yesterday and tomorrow, so luckily it worked out. So, Jason, I think the question is, I think you heard the question about just things to prepare for, things to expect for the season. Anything you want to pass on to the guys?
Yeah, and I was saying after years of being in college and the NFL, is just being prepared every week in and week out, and that becomes the mind and the body is recovery after games, continue to lift through the season, stay strong, don't let the body fall apart, and then obviously from the mind is being prepared every week. Game film. I wish I honestly did more in college at game film, and I learned through the years of NFL is like, man, the more you know about your opponent, the guy you're facing, the teams, kept you prepared. Game in, game out. I don't care what it goes. To win your one-on-one battle and understand what's going on. So the mind and the body, man, just take care of it and understand it and learn it as early as you can.
Love it. Great words of wisdom, and appreciate you passed that on. One more question, Jason. When you think about, you had a lot of great teammates at ONU, you had a part of some great moments. Any kind of memories that just really stand out for you as the most memorable?
It goes way back. I would not trade a moment at ONU. I'd go back tomorrow if I could. And the memories that were created from, silliest things, to running through the polar bear head and carrying the sledgehammer, to winning games and chanting in front of the crowd, to the friendships I've created and that long stand today, 15 years later. It really is endless, and honestly, I give all props to ONU football for creating these memories. And they'll cherish forever. Beating Mount, and if you ask my teammates, they'll say they beat Mount. I still love that story every year by campfire. So, it's these memories I want to take back. And I just love everyone. I appreciate
you guys. Well, I know one thing that we appreciate how you've stayed connected to the program. We, you're talking about some of your teammates that I know you guys get together, on a yearly or sometimes multiple times a year for different things. So it's awesome, and I think that's one reason why you guys had such a great group that was so much fun to coach and had so much success. Maybe one last thing, Jason, can you pass on maybe just if you thought about one lesson or two that you wanted to kind of just pass on? Is there anything stand out for you?
Yeah, for sure. I think honestly, the one thing after I look back of, Ohio Northern and my NFL career is like, whether you're a starter, you're a backup, it really doesn't matter. My motto is always, look, chase the guy in front of me. I'll make him better, or I'm going to pass him and get a job. And you know what? At the end of the day, the guy behind me will never catch me. So I'm always getting better. I'm going to take someone's job. And time after time, whether it was in college, taking people's jobs, moving forward, whether it was the NFL, bringing draft picks, things like that, coming after me for my job, it was just, listen, man, fly around, give 100%, have fun, respect the game, love the game, and man, because you just got to cherish it, because you never know when it's going to end, whether that's the end of college or obviously at some point it's going to end for everybody. So cherish it, the camaraderie, the fun, the football, and it's special.
Well, I think how much we appreciate you, how much we love you and your family. Looking forward to hearing some more stories about Austin playing ball
Yeah.
and wrestling this, and the rest of your family, your girls. Tell your wife, we said hello, and of course your dad. Hopefully he'll zoom in and check this out, and your brother Lenny, of course. So appreciate you, man. We'll talk to you soon. Okay.
Yeah, I appreciate you guys. Thank you for everything.
Our second giveaway is a book right here that there's a reason why we selected this book. It's the author is an alum, Austin Netzley, graduated from ONU in 2007. Actually, 2008 is last year. Football is 2007. Austin was a mechanical engineering major from Piqua, Ohio. He's an author, investor, and business growth advisor. Saw him when I was in San Antonio this January. It's always good to connect with him. He's a founder of a company called 2X. He has been featured in several magazines: Forbes, Entrepreneur, Inc., Yahoo, Business Insider, ABC, NBC, and the Washington Post. He talked to our team also this spring on a Zoom call. And, he's got a book right here, From Six Figures to Seven Figures. All right. That's, done very well on the New York Times bestseller list, I believe. And he's a very impressive guy that we're really so proud of, and always look forward to connecting with him. He was here on campus last summer, gave him a good tour around, checking out some of the things on campus. So our winner for this second raffle is going to be Andrew DeMario, who ironically enough lives in Austin, Texas. Yeah, how about that? He might not need to mail it to him. He maybe just go pick it up. But Andrew is doing very well, working with the Austin, the football club, the soccer club. I forget what's the name of it. Austin Football Club or whatever. He's killing it. This guy too. So he's probably already past moving his way up. He's 6 figures, 7 figures. But Andrew, please send your address, and we will get this book to you. And looking forward to that. So we're going to wrap up. Cody Cruzen here, I think we mentioned Cody earlier. Cody's an alum. It's always special having alums on our staff. Cody played here as part of some great teams, our playoff team in 2010. He coached with us for a few years, and he left. It went away and coached at Dayton and Tiffin and Ball State and Muskingum and St. Anselm, and they were able to get him back here. This will be his third year back with us. So on offense for a couple of years, and we got him back home on defense. So that feels good. So anyways, Cody's going to kind of look at a couple questions I think he has ready right here to moderate, and maybe throw me a couple questions. So.
All right, Coach, we got some good questions here. Appreciate that from all of you guys watching. Coach, one of the biggest questions right now is they kind of want to know about the quarterback battle. So if you can kind of, just touch on that.
Yeah, a lot of experience coming back in our team. So anytime there's a quarterback graduated, it's like people are always asking questions about that. But we do. The nice thing is we have a lot of players supporting cast back. You have 4 or 5 linemen that have started. You have a couple tight ends that have started and been all conference players. We have some all conference level receivers. running back. So there's a lot of weapons in place. There's a good competition right now. Trevor McConnell has worked his rear end off. He's a fifth-year senior from Michigan. The Cranbrook School. Done a lot, just everything we've asked of him. He's excelled in the classroom. He's excelled as a leader. He's continued to evolve as a quarterback and as a player. Just continue to get better and better and better. Had a really good game at our scrimmage on Saturday. Then we have two freshmen there that are pushing him: Garrison Higgins from Utah and also Taz Figueroa from Florida. So it's still we're not ready to say, hey, we have a starter or anything like that yet. We still have some camp to go through, and we're excited about the competition that's going on at that position.
What would you say, Coach, are the strengths of this team so far?
I think one of the things that just stands out to me is, you're always looking at maybe things you didn't have that you're trying to develop. And I think right now we have depth on the offensive line. Maybe three deep at some positions, and we have depth in the secondary. So those are two positions I don't know that we've had that in recent years. So it just feels a little different. You're doing a great job with the defensive backs. We've recruited some good guys. We've developed some good guys. And then I think, Coach Coral doing a great job with the O-line. So I think there's just some things changing there that feel like, strengths. I think we have some, multiple all-conference players. I think on the defensive line, we have some linebackers stepping up. So I'm excited about a lot of things. Kicking game, solid. And then, you look at those skill guys on offense. We have weapons, that you and I as defensive guys, get a little stressful every day trying to slow some of those guys down. So there's a lot of those things I'm excited. So
Absolutely, I agree. Are there any ways alumni can help out the team?
Yeah, the Polar Bear Club has been something that was established, I think, in 2017. It's been huge for the program. Our whole department, the Polar Bear Club, has been awesome. You have the ability to, select exactly where those funds go. So that's really huge. The university saw value in that. That has allowed us to do some really impactful things, as you know, Cody. Some of the changes we've made in Taft Hall. So somebody can go right to the Polar Bear Club. Any donation is appreciated. We know that everybody has different situations. So sometimes it's just about any kind of help. And other times, sometimes people will pass on names. There's other ways people can support the program. I just had an alum send a recruit name yesterday. And there's different things that we can get support in different ways. Sometimes it's financial, other times it can come in different forms.
With that, Coach, how can we sign up for the Polar Bear Club? As some people are asking that.
Yeah, it's on the. I know this is still new, and even though it's been a couple years, but people are still learning kind of how that works. I think right on the website there is on the athletics website. I believe it's probably also on the alumni website as well, where there's a link to the Polar Bear Club there. And even if somebody was part of multiple sports, they can split that any way they want. But I think it's right on that website. It'll say Polar Bear Club, and it's very. I think it's easy if somebody goes in there and starts looking around.
Is anything new happening with the stadium?
Absolutely. There you go. So we can't forget about that. So new turf, the university, the university had a donation, I think recently that it's about time. It's the 10-year mark. So that's usually about the time you want to do something with the turfs. There's a new design that I don't know if it's it's not out in the public yet, but probably will be soon. I think as everything ONU does. And one reason why I love this place so much is being done first class. So there will be a new design with that turf field, and that will start in. It looks like that'll start when the season's over, before lacrosse, kind of in between football and lacrosse. It'll be great for our top-notch lacrosse team to have hopefully a new field when their season starts, and we'll have it for spring ball. And we're getting the polar. Looks like we're getting the inflatable polar bear head back. So Tom Simmons, we worked together with Tom and some fundraising, and we have the polar bear head will be coming back. Probably not for the first game, but hopefully that'll be back in time for our second home game.
Coach, some people want to know where they can follow Polar Bear football online.
Yeah, there's online, of course, at ONUsports.com. I think that is, ONUsports.com. Of course, there's all the social media channels. We have a Twitter account, we have Facebook, we have Instagram. We were messing around with TikTok. I think we've kind of pulled back on that for a little while. Who knows what happens in the future? But we try to have those available in whatever platform somebody likes to use. And then, of course, just even a YouTube channel. We have our YouTube channel with some of the videos. We have some really good students, as you know, you're real involved with this, coming up with some hype videos and some things like that. So there's a lot of different ways to kind of stay up with what's going on. And I think between the website, ONUsports.com, and the social media platforms, I think they all would work pretty well.
And Coach, probably last thing here real quick, just maybe touch on the first game of the season, how your feelings are up to this point.
Yeah, Elma's going to be a good test. We're having a good scrimmage like try and help. So I have a joint practice at Bluffton on Thursday. Those are all steps. We talk about tests along the way of what things that we are looking like we're in the right path, and other areas that we need to kind of tighten some things up. But keep progressing over the next 10 days with that joint practice with Bluffton. But Alma, September 3rd, I think it's a 1:00 kickoff. They're good. They're definitely a good football team. They're 6-4. They have a lot of guys back. I think they have 155 guys in camp right now. So they have 30 seniors, 80 recruits. They do some things definitely well from watching their video from last year, seeing some of those things. And we'll have to have a great week, practice the rest of this week and then keep it going next week and be ready to go on September 3rd. But we're confident.
Absolutely.
All right. I think we're going to wrap it up at this point, and again, appreciate all the work that went into our alumni office, our IT office. Really worked hard to put things in order. There were many times we were busy during preseason. We probably didn't help as much as we could have or should have, and our alumni office just made it happen. So we appreciate them. Thank them for all their hard work, and just look forward to people coming out to games and following the team this fall. You can follow online with games that are going to be live streamed. You can follow hopefully in person, maybe sometimes on the road. Whatever the case may be, we appreciate that support and just look forward to a great 2022 season. Go Bears!